welcome to Novi's favorite podcast, Now You Novi. Hope everyone's doing well today. We've got a very fun, interesting topic to chat about. I think we're going to raise some great awareness today for the older adults in our community. And with me on the pod is Ginny Hallam, and she is the community manager at the city-owned Meadowbrook Commons.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
You know, I've been here so many years, and Meadowbrook Commons has been here. I think it was fairly new when I came decades ago, but I don't know if much of the community recognizes or realizes that the city owns Meadowbrook Commons.
Right. And we hear that a lot. They're always so surprised when they drive down Meadowbrook and they're like, oh, there's an apartment community right here, you know? So yeah, it's been, when we do tours and we talk to the prospects that come in, they're like, I had no idea this was here. And then when they find out and they move in and they find out the city owns it, they're like, I had no idea.
So for those listening, first of all, Meadowbrook Commons is on Meadowbrook Road. Between 10 Mile and Grand River, right next to Holy Family Church.
Yep.
And has new pickleball courts, which I know has been a hot commodity. But tell us a little bit, what is Meadowbrook Commons? Because I think we used to just use it, the city, as an activity center, or we called it the senior center. And it's not that. It's so much more.
Sure, because we share a space with the activity center. So there's one side that is the Meadowbrook Activity Center for all the city events and their parties and whatnot. And then on the other side, you have the residential side, which is Meadowbrook Commons, 55 and over, independent living for active seniors. So that's the part that I take care of mainly. I mean, I work very closely with Kit and Madison and Jeff for the activity center. But on the other side of it is I work for KMG Prestige, who manages the community for the city of Novi. So we take care of the residential side. There's 115 apartments in the main big building, as they call it. And then on the outside of Meadowbrook, we have 60 ranches, which are independent or individual entryways.
And Meadowbrook Commons is coming up on its 25th anniversary, right?
Next year, 25 years.
So I guess, Ginny, your role as community manager is very much like an apartment manager, property manager that people might be familiar with. You are tending to individual resident needs. Right?
Right. So Meadowbrook Commons is really no different than any other apartment community. It's just for seniors 55 and over. So they're independent, they're driving, they're cooking their own meals, they're doing their own laundry. It's just a place for seniors over 55. But with that being said, we have a bunch of different common rooms that are an amenity to the residents. We have a stylist, a salon on the second floor. She comes on Fridays. So the residents, if they want to utilize her, they don't have to leave the building. They can get their hair set and done on Fridays. We also have, on the third floor, we have a massage clinic. We have two therapists that come in pretty much Monday through Friday. It's their own schedule. And that's for all of city. It's not just for the Meadowbrook Common residents, but that they utilize that as well. We have a library. We have a card room on the second floor, and they use that room Monday through Sunday, where they are housing their own games, pinochle. They use those rooms too, so they don't have to go anywhere. We have a fitness center. So there's many rooms for them to use where they do not, if they don't want to have to travel out, they can utilize the rooms that we have. We also, on the first floor, we have our sundry shop, which is like a staple store where it's ran by residents. I do the shopping for it, but our residents man it on Mondays and Thursdays, where our residents can come down and buy grocery items, We have a freezer. They love their ice cream, so we always make sure we have ice cream and orange juice and, milk, the basics,
Okay.
cookies. And so that's open on Mondays and Thursdays. So if they can't get to the grocery store, there's always something that they can come down and purchase to their store.
You've been with KMG for how long now?
Just over 5 years.
So I would hazard a guess that you have made some pretty incredible relationships forged or friendships, let's say, with the residents there, right?
Absolutely.
How many of them, how many of them are in your office on a regular basis? I guess, I don't want to be stereotypical, but maybe seniors are looking for a friendship and you are very easy to talk to. Does that occur?
It does.
Okay.
We have anywhere from a dozen to maybe more consistent residents that come down and share their pictures of their great grandkids or talk about their weekend or what their plans are for the weekend, or they're going to go visit their family members and they're going to fly out to wherever. But yeah, they do. They come down and they just want that connection, and they want, they want to be heard too. Not that their family isn't around, but sometimes they just want to share something.
But with the size, the 115, and then I think you said 63?
60 on the outside.
60. It's big, but yet not too big that it's still intimate, right? Yep. So I think it becomes its own for your title, community or family, right? Like, all the ins and outs, the goings, the comings, like their routines.
I think that's so important too, because we can be the voice for them to their family members.
Okay.
We really get to see our residents every day. And some of the family members can't do that. They work, they have other responsibilities, so they might see them once or twice a week, just not always, but could be once or twice a week. So sometimes when we notice something with one of our residents, like, that seemed a little off, like she doesn't seem well, or he not doing his normal routine, we will always contact family members and say, hey, we kind of noticed a little bit of a change and this and that. And so we can communicate and be their voice even when they don't seem like there's something off.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do get to know them very well. I appreciate that part about my job. I have a great staff, and all of them, from the housekeeper all the way up to myself, we engage with our residents. We want them to know, like, they're important to us. We appreciate them, and we love our conversations with them.
I think that's so important. The small community within our larger Novi community. I know the city continues to invest in Meadowbrook Commons too, right? So you drive by, I drive by it every day. It doesn't look 25 years old, right? Like, the maintenance, it's beautiful. The grounds are beautiful. There's a gazebo out front. We joked earlier, I did, that we added pickleball courts there now. So I think the continued investment that the city, and then the maintenance that you all do, is so important to maintain the vibrancy of the community, right?
Absolutely. Every year, obviously, we do a budget. I work closely with Jeff, and we figure out the details. But recently, we just put new roofs on the entire building, which was a huge feat in itself, both main building and the ranches. We just did windows in all the occupied apartments, and that was a big job.
I bet. I can't even imagine managing that project with the residents.
Yeah, it was a big job.
It was a challenge, sure.
It was definitely a challenge, but it was so beneficial. It's not like a big impact, like when you look at from the outside, but just for the residents.
Efficiency, sure.
Exactly. Pickleball court, it's amazing. During the summertime, the grounds are beautiful. It's 17 acres. We have a fantastic grounds guy who's been with Meadowbrook Commons for 18 years.
Oh, my word.
So he is meticulous,
Okay.
He knows the ins and outs. He just knows efficiency. He knows what he needs to get done. And then we have our housekeeper who's been with Meadowbrook for about 17 years. So she just takes care of the inside. It's just a well-oiled machine. Like everybody just knows their role and they just carry on with it.
We talked a little bit about the city side, the program. So we program, the city, I'm saying, programs your activity center, which is a large banquet type room, for lack of better terms, with a kitchen. Meals on Wheels is run out of Meadowbrook Commons,
Correct.
the Meadowbrook Activity Center. And then the city programs bingo,
Our holiday event.
luncheons, St. Patrick's Day lunch, etc. Those are housed there, correct?
Yes, and also we have blood pressure that we would like a little bit more participation. I think most people in our community know about it, but only a handful of the folks in the city of Novi know about it. So every Wednesday from 11 to 12, we have blood pressure checks.
Okay.
And then we have the fire department comes one time a month, and then we have a couple nurses that do it the rest of the time. And they can keep track. They make obviously a notation of your blood pressure, and then you come in the next week and they say, oh, it's kind of high, it's like at a low. So I think that's a really important part.
And that's a free service.
It's a free service, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they have, like I said, exercise classes that are held pretty much now Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
They have long-term ones.
Are all the items or the programs that are scheduled at the activity center for those 55 and up?
They are.
Okay.
Some of the parties aren't, or, some can be 21 and up, or,
Okay.
So it just depends on what the event is. The DIA that we have that comes in and they pick up all the participants that want to sign up for the DIA to go downtown or
Okay.
Do the tours. Those can vary. I think those might be 55 and over.
Okay.
But it just depends on the event.
So this all is wonderful. There is a little bit of a bummer. I guess maybe not for you all, but for those that are going, oh my gosh, I want to check it out. I'm interested. Or, hey, this would be great for my mom. This would be great for my dad. Let's quietly say what the wait list is.
So yes, we do have a wait list. It depends on
quite popular.
Yeah, what style that you're looking for. For our one bedroom, since we have 83 of them, they are about a 1.5-year wait list.
Okay.
And that's in the main building. We have 1 and 2 bedrooms in the main building. Our 2 bedrooms, about a 2.5-year wait list. And then we go to the outside, which are very popular, the ranches. We only have 60 of those, and those are about a 3.5-year wait list.
It's crazy.
It could go quicker, just depending on if the folks that are ahead of you don't want to move at that time. So we can move down the list pretty quickly. So we just always say 3.5 years or 2.5 years or 1.5 years, just to be on the safe side. It could go quicker, but our price point is fantastic. It allows our residents to age in place if they needed extended care. It gives their family opportunity to hire outside services to come and assist if they needed to. But yeah, it's...
we started out by me saying, people aren't aware that it's a city facility, et cetera. Well, obviously people are aware of something because the wait list is so long. I think one of the things also that's so attractive for people to want to move in, it's the independence and how beautiful it is, the setting, but it's the location, right? It's Meadowbrook to me is even though it is a main road, it's still like a little quiet pocket, right? It has that feel, but yet in a mile, you're at the town center.
Yes.
Where there's a Walmart and shopping and things. Bushes is you could literally walk.
We have residents that walk.
To Bushes, which is probably a 1/4 mile, a 1/2 mile from you all, for grocery shopping. And that strip center's been redeveloped and is just beautiful now. Proximity to places of worship, right? It's
Holy
just
Family right next door. We have a sidewalk that connects, and a lot of our residents utilize that. We have hospitals
Yep.
and
The
medical.
healthcare, access to medical care, right?
It's so close. With the Novi Center being so close, like the shopping center is fantastic. TJ Maxx, all the restaurants, Walmart. You go down Grand River a little bit, you got Kroger, and then you have Sam's, and then around the corner you can go to a little bit to Northville. You can go to Costco's and Meijer,
right? So it's a great location, and even the proximity here to the Civic Center with the activities, I mean, that are available, and then with PAX, our relationship with partnership with PAX, if they aren't comfortable driving, it's free.
It's free. That was such a terrific service to add. I know there was some, we're working it out and trying to figure out how it was going to be paid for or whatnot. But as soon as that came up and the residents were able to get their rides to wherever, it's such a broad area now. Before they were kind of confined to a certain
Novi, the geographic, it was Novi, right?
But if they had a doctor that wasn't in the Novi, they would have to find alternative routes. But now it's like it just opened up a whole world for them. They can go exercise and they can go to fitness centers if they wanted to, or they can go to a restaurant, which a lot of our residents utilize that now to go to restaurants together in the evening. So it's kind of helpful.
It just makes me so happy to hear that you say that they are utilizing it. And I can tell by the look on your face that it has been another enhancement to the service level that you guys already provide. So.
Right. Another amenity, which you wouldn't think like that would be such a big, important, but when they finally cannot drive any longer, it's such a huge.
Or even in some of this weather, right? Maybe they're not comfortable driving, that they would prefer to have somebody else do the driving for them. They can, snow's coming and I have a doctor's appointment. This is a free service. I don't have to drive in it if I don't want to.
Just in the past 2 weeks, we've had a number of residents have used the service to go to therapy, like they have to go physical therapy. And, you've seen how the weather was the past couple of weeks. It's been messy. And even though they're able drivers, they just felt more comfortable being dropped off at the door.
Sure.
Picked up at the door. So they've been utilizing that. I mean, you do have to call in advance. You have to plan ahead. But most of our residents are at that stage where they plan ahead.
They do plan ahead, right?
Exactly.
I know my mom. I mean, she could tell you what she's doing for the next month as far as doctors, hair appointments, nail appointments. They are very organized.
Yep.
What if you could end on one thing about Meadowbrook Commons? What do you want people to know? What haven't we covered, or what do you want to really drive home?
So I think if they come in and they tour our community and they see the folks that live there, and see the amenities, if they come during an exercise class or during bingo, or during the summertime when pickleball is playing, or they see the grounds and see people out walking, it just gives you a whole new perspective on senior living. I think everybody has this stigma like, oh, it's like a nursing home or anything like that. But when they come in and they see the activity level and the participation, I think it rests their minds a little bit more like, okay, this is not what I thought. And just come in and take a tour and meet some of the people that live there, and you'll get a whole new perspective on senior living.
Well, thank you. I can tell you love what you do.
I love my job. Sincerely, I love my job. I've been in this industry for over 30 years. I did senior living for a little bit earlier in my career, and I always said if I had an opportunity to come back and do it towards the end of my career, I'm there. Yeah. I enjoy it. I love the residents. They give you a whole new life perspective, and it makes you humble, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for what you do. I think you are just a great, great advocate for our Meadowbrook Commons. It's
absolutely
just not just the cities, it's obviously KMG, and our partnership is so essential to that operating efficiently. So thank you for all you do.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And there you have it. I mean, if you didn't know about Meadowbrook Commons, there's information on the city's website. Stop by and see Ginny if you want a little tour. Can I say that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and get your name on the wait list.
Yeah, absolutely. Get on the wait list. Even if you don't think you're going to be moving in the next couple of years, put your name on the wait. That doesn't cost anything to do that. So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me and
Thank
sharing
you.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have you back next year and we'll do something fun for the 25.
Absolutely. That would be great.
Or we'll come out and do a video at your place.
There you go.
Would be
Yep,
super
that
fun.
Would be fun. Yep.
So there you have it. Until next time, now you Novi. Take care.